So, a couple things to look out for, Michael, on this Raider team. First of all, we'll start with them. Talk about the Bruins in a moment. Raiders absolutely tearing it up offensively and defensively. This team's really clicking. You got to look at their
with DJ Jackson.
Absolutely. Even with him, the absence of him, last year he was such a key back. This year, Kia Martinez is really filling that role nicely. The rushing game has been fantastic. Look at this. 6.2 yards per carry on the year. That is fantastic numbers.
Yeah, it's really been great this year. Seeing Keon Martinez step up and take a bigger role here. And see what he can do tonight for taking on the Bruins.
Absolutely. And Justin Lamb, quarterback that can run and can throw. He's doing a great job on both sides of the ball.
And
in that
kick.
direction.
We've seen him kick before, too.
He can punt as well. Quite the athlete. So, in terms of the passing game, though, completion percentage of 56%, not bad. On the year, this team has 161 passing yards per game and 202 rushing yards.
Which is pretty good compared to Bear Creek Bruins, who are stacking up completions 124, carries 279. So we know they're going to be a running team.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard for them to get the ball past the Raider defense. Ben Heck leading the state in tackles, as well as Jake Heimlicher, who has numerous safeties this year.
Indeed, he's leading the state as well in sacks and for tackles for loss. So he's doing a great job defensively. The Raider defense absolutely tearing it up out there, leading, I believe, the state in sacks with 28 per game. 28 total, excuse me. 20 per game would be unreal. 96 tackles. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
this
especially
defense
going into this playoff season. And we know if Bear Creek doesn't win this game, they won't be able to play in the playoffs. So they really need this win bad.
Now, the Raiders just moved up to the 4 slot in the 5A Colorado rankings. Bear Creek not in the top 20. So it shouldn't be exactly a tight matchup, but still should be exciting to see how the Raiders handle it. Remember, Bear Creek 5-4 winning record. They need this win.
Nick, we also are going to look at Bear Creek offense as well as only 3 interceptions this year. So we know their quarterback isn't going to be a horrible athlete.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to see him make a few plays tonight. Looks like he can run as well. So seeing how he'll stack up. You know, they are a running team, but with led by Romero,
Mm-hmm.
who has 1,200 yards on the season, 143 yards a game, which is quite a lot.
Absolutely.
So we'll definitely see how that goes for the Bear Creek Bruins.
Now, something that doesn't get enough credit, I think, on this program is just the receiving prowess on this Raider team. Aubrey Marshall Parker absolutely tearing it up. Last year, him and Quentin Birch, power tandem. This year, he's doing it mostly alone. He's got 35 catches for 593 yards.
It's quite a lot. I mean, compared to most of the other teams we've been playing, he stacks up pretty highly against all these teams. And we've seen it this year. The Raiders have been playing great against almost every team.
Absolutely.
And they're making small mistakes, which don't hurt them. But going to the playoffs, they really got to eliminate those small mistakes. 4 minutes till game time. Looks like we're going to take a quick break here. I'm Michael Nugian, Nick Sangelis. This is Raider Sports Network. Check. 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 Check.
Sit here, man. Okay. Yeah, I might go first quarter, first half. You can't have a senior night if you're not home. Now's not a good time. He's got to come to 2 minutes.
You want to do it?
Dude, do the first quarter. I'm going to do the first quarter, and then we're both going to go.
It's not that hard. Tierney, my man.
Do you want to produce?
Choose.
You can produce and commentate. What was doing color? Can you stay for the first half?
Wait, do you guys have to leave after first?
After
Yeah.
the first quarter. Oh, there's the best photographer in the whole state. Do we have a camera?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Raider Sports Network. I'm Nick Sanglis alongside Michael Manuigan. Michael, today, again, we pre-gamed it a little bit before this broadcast, but tell me, what does Bear Creek have to do to win this ballgame?
You know, I think some of the key things for Bear Creek is going to be using their running game to their best ability and not letting that defense overwhelm them, as Raiders have such a powerful defense, especially on this opening drive. Bear Creek's going to receive, so if they can start off strong, not go 3 and out, it'll definitely help them have momentum for the rest of this game. Looks like Raiders were in all red tonight. Creek's in all white.
You know, something I've been looking for in some of these teams that the Raiders have been playing, you know, this Raider schedule has been really interesting. They started off against Creek and Mullen, those 2 very tough matchups. Of course, the loss to Mullen, but the only blemish to the year. But when you're looking at some of these lower competition teams, you know, talking about Bear Creek, Douglas County, something that really has hurt them is when they couldn't get momentum going early. They really got to get started early to be able to have any chance against this Raider monstrous defense. So here's a return on the opening kickoff. Tried to cut it up, but muscled down by a herd of Raiders. It'll be first 10 for Bear Creek.
And that's what Bear Creek needs for them, is they don't need to be intimidated by that. They see right there 6 guys coming after them. So, and especially Reedus getting hype on the sideline. They have a much bigger team. So it's going to be key for Bear Creek to keep their composure and not be overwhelmed and feel pressured, especially for the quarterback when he goes to make his throws, to not rush him, especially with how fast Jake Heimlicher comes in on the side.
Absolutely. Raider defense has been monstrous this year. Jake Heimlicher, Ben Hecht, Patrick Rowe having a good year again. Tama Tuatelli. So many guys you can't mention right now, but JT Kamer, Adam Smallwood. But now currently Romero whips it out to the left side, bringing up the sideline. Got a couple of yards before he's taken out of bounds.
Nice play there, finding him open on the sideline, able to bring it up the field. Brings Bear Creek to, looks like a 11-yard gain right there.
Romero, the quarterback, in terms of comparison, with Justin Lamb. Justin Lamb has under 100 completions. He has 124, but only for an average of 10 yards per. Here he is in the shotgun. Hands off to the right side. Not a lot of room there. Romero also second leading rusher on this team, 291 yards.
4-yard gain in the play, 2nd and 6 for.
That's something that he's going to have to use tonight, as Raiders have such a powerful defense. And if Raiders have such a powerful defense, so if Romero's going to be able to cut open to the sideline and cut up field, that'll really help this team out and him tonight.
Yeah, the Raiders are, strong all the way across the ball, but especially strong up the middle. And you see that right there. Stuff that run. Certainly should be interesting come playoff time. Of course, this game, playoff implications more so for Bear Creek than for the Raiders. But as we mentioned in the pregame show, Regis Jesuit sitting at 4-0 in the 4 spot. Eagle Crest, Valor Christian, Columbine filling out the top 3. Should be interesting to see how those 4 cards fall. Of course, notable top 10 is Cherry Creek as well. A little bit lower in the rankings. Here's a run to the right side.
Right there, Romero kept it. You were saying top second rusher in this team. And so for him tonight, really going to have to use that ability to find that open lane.
Martinez looks like the lead back. He's a junior, 637 yards in the air. They've been using him a little bit earlier in this contest. So first down here for the Bear Creek Bruins. 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Romero now under center. Hands off up the middle. Got through a couple of the first layer defenders before he's taken down. Looked like Patrick Rowe, that is, and the initial contact.
Especially if Bear Creek wins this game, they'll be in the playoffs. That's something they'll be excited for. But at the same time, if Regis lost to Bear Creek, they'd definitely move down a bunch in the rankings.
Absolutely.
Probably around 15.
Really caused some shakeups. Should something like that happen. They're driving here now. Romero flushed out of the pocket. Rolls out to his left, throws that way. Good enough for a first down for Bear Creek. Still on his feet before he falls out of bounds.
Looks like Jake Heimlicher almost got a finger on it. Started rushing towards the quarterback. Couldn't get to him, though.
Indeed. Jake Heimlicher having a career year, if you could say that, in high school. Leading the state in tackles for loss and sacks. Going to be excited to see what he does next year.
Where he's going to go to college should be exciting.
Absolutely. Presently, though, Bear Creek going hurry up, snap it real quick. Hand it off to the lead back. And really nothing there. Raiders did a great job of collecting themselves on the hurry up.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to catch him off guard. Raiders able to adjust quickly, not let him get anywhere. 1 yard gain.
So 2nd and 9 coming up on the 41-yard line. They're using Martinez sort of as a fullback here early as they start to slow things down with the huddle. Really been using him right behind the back of Romero in that I formation. And Bear Creek's going under center a lot more than we see a lot of these 5A teams. Romero whips one, out to the left. Tackled down by Michael Bennett. Of course, Michael Bennett taken out early with a collarbone injury in this season. Came back about halfway through, and he's just been lighting it up, doing a great job on the outside. Great compliment to Patrick Rowe. Secondary's just been stout. Here comes up a big 3rd down. 3rd and 7 for Bear Creek. Again, Michael, we've been talking about it. Bear Creek has got to get started early. And I think personally that to be the first team to score, to have any chance. Romero now out of the shotgun. Takes a couple steps back, tries to cut it through the pocket. Nothing there. Tackled down for a sack by Regis Jesuit. Jake Heimlicher on that one. So Heimlicher adds to his already impressive totals on the year with another sack. He had 14 coming in, make it 15. So now from the 42. 4th and 10, offense stays on the field there for Bear Creek. Michael, do you think they're actually going to go for it, or are they going to pull the Regis Jesuit little pooch kick?
You know, I think Bear Creek, as we were saying, they need this win. They're already this far down the field. 42-yard line. I think they're going to go for it.
A timeout called before the snap. Excuse me. It's going to be flag. Thrown a little late.
Before the snap, delay. Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Delay a game. So now, Bear Creek's going to be forced to punt. Costly delay a game. Really limiting their ability to go for it there. Unless they were just trying to draw the Raiders off sides, which is the likely story. That kick almost blocked, but it's a boomer. Fair caught by Aubrey Marshall Parker at the 10. So the Raiders will start their first drive from their own 10-yard line. A lot of green left to go.
Raiders coming out here on the 10-yard line. 90 yards to go. Looks like they're going to start off with the passing game, is what we've seen earlier. They start with that passing game, then go to the running game once they get further down the field. Justin Lamb having a great year. A lot better than what happened last year after his injury. Only played a few games and now back at it.
A lot of quarterback switching going on last year towards the tail end of the year. Not so this year. Justin Lamb from his own end zone.
Keon with a nice block there.
Indeed, picking up the blitzer. Short gain. Heimlicher doubling as a tight end this year. Something new we've seen, and then we've been talking about it all year. The athletes playing on this team on both sides of the ball. Heimlicher, DJ Jackson was playing a little cornerback before he went down. And there's a lot of others. Thomas Tuatelli playing a little running back, even has a throwing touchdown on the year, as well as the linebacker. So a lot of athletes on this squad. Here's one of them. Martinez cuts it up. Nice little spin move to get out of the backfield. Only a gain of 2, though. So already a 3rd and long here. 3rd and 5, if you call that long. This Bear Creek fan base is getting loud, Michael.
Yeah, definitely could have put a little more pressure than what we've seen going to Westminster last week and the week before. Legacy, not a big student section from those opposing teams.
Here's Lamb in the shotgun. Flush out of the pocket, rolling out to his left. He's so good on the roll. And does he have the first down on the run?
Looks like
He
might.
does. Great run there by Justin Lamb. His feet have really been his friend this year. First down, Raiders.
You know, that one defensive end coming in fast. No one there to block him, so looks like it might have been a miscommunication by the Raiders or just a great play by Bear Creek. Can't let that happen again. It's going to end up very bad for the Raiders.
So first attempt from the 22. So far, methodical drive for the Raiders. So you seeing them going no huddle. Not necessarily hurry up, but getting play calls from the sideline. Instead, now they have been slowing things down. Here's a handoff to Keon Martinez. Really nothing there. Bear Creek doing a great job up front.
Looks like they've watched some film on Keon. Keon hasn't had a big gain yet. He usually gets 10, 12 yards every play.
Something interesting here, Michael. Bear Creek has 17 sacks on the year. Jake Heimlicher has 15. Little food for thought. Here's Lamb, rolling out to his right. Had Cade Mendenhall open, but he couldn't follow it through his fingertips.
Lucky that
Brings
one
up
wasn't
3rd and
picked
10.
off. Went right through his hands.
Excuse me, that's Jack Peppercorn. Doubling as a punter as well this year. Kind of sharing time with Justin Lamb as a Bear Creek player falls to the ground. Michael, temperature has significantly dropped since the opening kick.
Yeah, definitely towards the end of the season, wind's been picking up. We saw snow a couple weeks ago. So, clear night tonight. Looks like it's a full moon.
Really adds another dimension, doesn't it, towards the end of the year, is the temperature drop, temperature change. Really is what allows for the season to be a tale of 2 halves, if you will. First half, playing in shorts. Second year needing your down jacket. 5:14 left to go in the first quarter. The Raiders resume their drive. 3rd and 10. Second, 3rd down. And the Young drive. Here's Lamb. Out of the shotgun, throw it across the middle, tipped up, and incomplete.
Justin Lamb really looked like he had an open guy there. Went off the fingertips. A nice pass, a little high, but that ball needs to be caught, especially in these situations on their own 22-yard line.
Albie Marshall Parker didn't have a single target in that drive. Needed to get him going. Jack Peppercorn had both the targets.
Now Jack Peppercorn to kick.
And Martinez, the running back for Bear Creek, to receive this punt. It's a low line drive. Fair caught, though. Patrick Rowe right in his face. So Bear Creek gets fantastic field position. 44-yard line is where they'll start their drive.
Bear Creek did a great job defensive-wise on that drive right there. Something that I don't think Nick and I were expecting from them to come out that strong.
Absolutely.
Raiders only able to get to the 22-yard line starting at the 10, so.
The pregame were really lauded on the Raider offense. And slow start on their one drive. A lot of game left, though. Hand off to the right. Martinez is swallowed up.
Monk the ball carrier.
Excuse me, that was Monk on the carry.
Keith for the Raiders. 1 yard loss in the play, 2nd and 11.
Tackle for loss there. Loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and 11. This Raider defense has to come up huge in this game, it looks like. But we've seen they're up to the task.
It's like a man in motion, and before whistle's blown.
4:30 left to go in this first quarter. We'll check the flag.
Before the ball was snapped, encroachment, defense, number 5, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
I know this is colloquial, Michael, but I gotta say, this referee has a very silky voice.
Yeah, it's really,
Before the snap, false start, offense number 5.
oh, they go defense, then offense. So referee changes his call. We just talked about how great his voice was, but his call was off.
I don't mind hearing more of it.
So, I think referees having microphones this year in high school football has really helped out coaches, student sections, parents,
And us.
and us especially know what the call is instead of us having to guess what it was and lie to all you watchers out there.
Romero under center. Hands off to the lead back again. This is Martinez on the carry.
Swallowed up in the backfield.
Monk the ball carrier, tackled by Ben Heck for the Raiders.
Ben Hecht on the tackle. Adds to his 5A leading total. 3rd and 11 coming up. And again, Bear Creek, if they can strike here, that'd be huge.
Just really huge, big play for Bear Creek. You were saying this was
They need, well, what I was implying, Michael, is that they need to keep this drive alive to be able to score that first. Get those first points on the board. Here's a handoff. Excuse me. Aaron and out. Across the middle. Wide open was his man. First down, Bruins.
student section really getting excited for Bear Creek. Just really blowing up tonight. Looks like it's filled up for them. So that gives Bear Creek a lot of excitement and energy this game.
It's those big plays that really fuel teams against the Raiders. We saw it a couple weeks ago, but they really need something to get them going early, and they found it.
Really gives them that diesel gas.
I like it. And this is picked off by Michael Bennett coming down the right side. All alone. A foot race to the pylon. He scores. Touchdown, Regis Jesuit.
Great play right there. Michael Bennett able to read it and take it up the sideline. Our fellow vice president on student council, a great guy, puts the Raiders on the board first. Right after Bear Creek has a huge play, Regis responds with an interception.
What a read by him. To cut that route off so beautifully. They really missed him when he was out in the first quarter of the year. But now he's making his presence felt with another pick six added to this Raider defensive pedigree as that extra point sails through the uprights. So it is the Raiders getting the first big play of the game, fresh off of Bear Creek's momentum gainer. And their drive cut short. And the Raider game stepped up. Crowd chanting Michael Bennett.
Who was out for most of the beginning of the season with an injury. Able to bounce back.
Certainly saw you getting excited there, Michael. Jumping up and down. So I'd love to see you up in here in the booth.
It's always great to see our fellow student council members have some great action in games.
Tell you what, student council members are good athletes. If Michael Bennett is any indication. It's now ready to kick off after a 7-0 opener. Murrow had 3 interceptions only coming into the year. Really thought he was going to dictate this play. As This return is shut down emphatically. An annihilating collision. Shut that thing down before it began. But talk about Romero. Michael, he only had 3 interceptions coming in. That's his 4th in the year, and it's a big one.
Huge play.
Returns it to the 17.
Definitely.
Tackled by Tuatele for the Raiders.
2:55 left to go in the first quarter. Bear Creek starts their third drive, that is, on the 17-yard line as they hand it off to the left side. Really nothing there. Try to find a hole. Being real patient, but patience wasn't enough.
No gain in the play. 2nd and 10 for the Bears.
2nd and 10 coming up. No gain on that last play.
Looks like Bear Creek slowing down their offense now. Letting the clock run down.
And that's how they strike with those real quick hurry-ups. Really catches you by surprise. That one sails through the hands of intended receiver, and they rule it a forward pass. So no fumble. Could have been another defensive touchdown.
Pass incomplete, intended for Dalton. 3rd and 10 for Bear Creek.
So now with 3rd and 10. Bear Creek coming off of that score by the Raiders. They really need something to get them going. And a 3-and-out would not do that.
Bear Creek really needs something here to keep them alive in this game. It's set Regis up in great field position if they get it. If they make a stop here.
Romero keeps it to himself. Darts up the middle. Not too much there. Gain of a short few.
Romero keeps the ball.
Looks like there'll be a few yards.
Sub
For the Bears. Ball at the Bears 23.
4th and 4 from the 23. And Bear Creek forced to punt. Raider punt blocking has been fantastic this year. That one is almost blocked again. Albie Marshall Parker didn't have too much room. Recognizing that, he called for a fair catch. And another great starting field possession for the Raiders. The 40-yard line. Right around midfield. Minute 37 left to go. And Michael and I will be taking off after this first quarter to make way for Chalmers Powell, and Jaron Johnson. So absolutely stay tuned to them. And, of course, we'll be handing it over to Ryan Tierney. Give us his breakdown.
With the Stat Analytics Club.
He's been doing a great job all year, analytically. We know we need it after some of your analysts.
It's like
Michael.
a flip.
Just kidding. Flag down, but Key Martinez was finding some holes.
Martinez, the ball carrier, is 5 on the play.
Martinez finally coming up with a great drive this game. Looks like it'll be a holding call.
Indeed it is.
Offense, number 7, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Tell you what, maybe this referee should come take your spot, Michael.
You know, I really I'd enjoy it if I could work with him. As he would be color, I'd be play-by-play. That'd just be it'd be great to have him up on this show. We'll have to ask him what his name is. Get a business card.
Shouldn't be talking about him so much, but just sounds like poetry. Here's a throw across the middle. Albie Marshall Parker finally getting going. Makes one move around a defender. Still on his feet. Dragged down for a gain of about 20.
Lions pass complete to Marshall Parker.
I told you, Michael, they had to get him going.
Down to
And there he is.
45-yard line. 24-yard completion. Sideline warning.
24 yards.
First offense, there is no distance penalty. First down.
Looks
Raider
like Regis.
sideline was getting pumped up there, Michael.
Sideline warning. Not sure what caused it. Maybe a few guys ran onto the field. But the voice makes it sound like it's a good call.
Justin Lamb. Martinez to his right. Hands it off that way. He bounces around the left side, cuts it up again. And a nifty couple of yards.
Great moves right there, putting on a couple jukes.
Oh, yeah. I'm liking your demonstration here.
2nd and 6 for Regis Jesuit. Ball at the Bear Creek 41.
27 seconds left to go in this quarter.
Lamb now. Flips out to the right on the option. This is Martinez. He's got some speed around the outside. Darts around one defender. Still on his feet. And by his own volition, taken out of bounds.
Pitch from Lamb. Carries for Regis Jesuit, first down.
Looks like they might let this clock wind down, and that might be the last play of this quarter.
Clock is stopped at 11. So there'll be one more play here. Justin Lamb, 2 receivers to his left. Marshall Parker to his right. Steps up in the pocket, throws across the middle. Marshall Parker again.
Great reception over the middle. Beautiful play, and then getting more yards after that. Looks like the clock stops again.
And that's going to do it for the first quarter of play here in Luke Kellogg Stadium. Raiders lead it by 7-0 score off of a fantastic pick 6 from Michael Bennett. And so that's going to do it for me and myself, Nick Sangelis, and Michael Manugian here on this broadcast. Hand it off to Jaron Johnson and Chalmers Powell. Trust me, folks, you're in good hands. Stay tuned to the Raider Sports Network.
Like Nick said, I am Jaron Johnson alongside Chalmers Powell. And today, the Raiders are starting off the 7-0 lead, starting off this second quarter.
It's been a good first quarter for the Raiders with that pick 6.
Yes, it has, but their offense struggling a little bit in the first quarter. But right here, they are about ready to score. Raiders back with the snap. Ball's off. Play action. Looking for, it's a touchdown by the Raiders.
Great play.
No one was there covering him. A little bit of miscommunication on defense and able to get an easy reception for another 6 points.
You know, with Regis being 4th in the state and the Bruins being 57th, I believe, in the state, this shouldn't be a very highly anticipated game.
You got that right. The kick's up, and it is good. So with that, we have a 14-0 lead starting out the quarter. Bear Creek struggling there to contest the Raiders' offense as they finally got something to get going. Raiders, like you said earlier, having a great season. Only 1 loss on the year. And what do you think about that? How do you think that that's going to help them in the postseason?
You know, I think that's very, very important with their 8-1 record, and with Bear Creek only having 5 wins and 4 losses. like I said, not a very highly anticipated game. It's for sure has gotten pretty cold out here at Kellogg Stadium.
Yes, it has, and I wonder if that's going to affect Lamb on his passing, and as the temperature will continue to drop. Here, the Raiders are getting ready to kick off. Kick is up. And the flag is thrown as the ball will go out of bounds, giving Bear Creek a little bit of an advantage as they'll take the ball on the 30-yard line. Excuse me, 35. Raiders defense, like we said, came off with a pick 6 in the first quarter. That was the first points they got up on the board, and let's see if they can repeat that here.
On the kicking team, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line, first and 10.
Bear Creek. Number 2, Romero in the backfield. Wide receiver. Lead blocking. And a monster hit by the Raiders as they swarm that ball.
Yeah, I think Nick said it earlier in the season. Trying to run into the Regis defense is like trying to run into a wall. You just can't get through them.
Yes, actually, a lot of sports teams for the Raiders have really good defenses, as Raiders are known to have a brick wall for soccer and basketball also. Raiders swarming the ball again with a loss of around 2 on that play. This would be 3rd down, about 6.
Loss of the yard in play. May I have your attention, please? The north lot, there is a white Ford Explorer that needs to be moved immediately. A white Ford Explorer in the north lot that needs to be moved.
Bear Creek spreading all the receivers. One in the backfield, rolling to his left side, having trouble, looking downfield. No one's open, and the Raiders are able to swarm the ball. Great job there by the secondary, as they did not let anything happen on that play.
Indeed, Jaron.
5-yard gain in the play brings up 4th and 1 for Bear Creek.
It would be 4th down and around 1. Wonder if the Bear Creek will try getting them off sides, or if they're going to just sneak this one up into the middle. The snap, it's a handoff. He finds a hole. That would give them a 1st down. Raiders unable to stop that ball, giving them a new set of downs and some more field to play with.
Bear Creek 1st down. 1st and 10 Bears from their own 46.
Bears on their own 46-yard line with about 9 minutes left in the quarter. Let's see what Romero can do. The snap, wide receiver screen. Raiders able to find that one. And there's a tackle that goes out of bounds. Be 2nd down. And about 8 yards to go to Bear Creek. One in the backfield, I formation. Receiver motioning to the left and swarmed by the Raiders as he somehow breaks the tackle. But there are 5 more players there to take him down. Bear Creek not able to get anything going so far in this half.
Makes it 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11 for the Bear Creek. So the Raiders are looking for another win. What do you think Bear Creek has to do to come back into this game?
You know, I think they really need to start passing the ball more and stop worrying about we'll also worry about their offensive line.
Ramiro trying to do everything on his own, using his legs to try and run for that first down. It'll still be 4th down and about 5 to go. And looks like the punt team will come out.
You know, I think it's about time, at least for the Raider defense, that the Bruins punt, so we can turn it over to the offense and get some points on the board.
Yep, 14-0 here with about 7 minutes left in the half. And a little bit of motion on the line as Bear Creek will move back 5 more yards.
Looked like one of our players pointed that out to the refs.
Yep. Refs just always on top of that nowadays. And here comes more players, more substitutes as the actual punt team will come on. I was wondering if they're planning on doing a fake to get back into this game, but we'll see this return. Parker. Bad punt as the ball barely goes 30 yards. Unable. Give Raiders great possession on this one.
For sure. And, you know, it's one thing I've noticed in high school football that the punts are just not very long. You know, it's more on the field goal that it could be longer, but on punts it's just short, bad punts.
Yep. I wonder if the temperature has anything to do with that, as the ball might harden a little bit as the temperature drops. And here we go as Lamb come back out. That would be Martinez in the backfield.
It looked like it got deflected.
Yeah, it looked like a wide receiver screen to the right side, but read perfectly by the Bear Creek defense.
You know, it looks like it's been a great turnout tonight. Tonight is the new Raider or the prospective students game.
Yes, and great play there as he takes the outside. He's going. The 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Raiders. By number 21, Martinez. No one saw that coming. Bear Creek was out on their heels on that one.
For sure, for sure.
That one.
That you know, that little pitch pass, perfect play, well executed.
Yes, and here we go for the field goal as the Raiders trying to take a 21-point lead here in the half.
Maybe we'll have a Aurora Central situation on our hands where the 40 points, when you get 40 points above the opposing team, the clock is still running.
Yes, and that would be great momentum for the Raiders here, as hopefully they can put some more points on the board with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left in this quarter. The Raiders only taking them 2 plays to get into the end zone. Obviously, the coaches feel good about their play calling on that one.
Indeed. You know, I'm not certain on this, but I heard that most of their plays are from NFL teams. Don't quote me on that. Just heard that through the grapevine.
Yep. And Raiders back here to kick, as Bear Creek needs to somehow get something going if they want to get back into this game. The kickoff is going to stay in bounds this time, and it's returnable. It's Bear Creek taking it. Swarmed by the Raiders as it goes down about the 24-yard line. And a lot of field for the Bear Creek to make up. And this powerhouse of a defense coming back out. Say, not making it easy for the Bear Creek offense this night.
You know, on that topic of the defense, our stars of our defense, Jake Heimlicher, has we've had 28 sacks total. Jake has had half of those so far.
Yes, and obviously he has quite a bit of college offers, and we'll be seeing a lot of him in the future. There are the Raiders swarming the ball. It'll be about 2nd down and 5 here for the Bear Creek with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in the quarter.
At halftime, we're going to hand it over to Ryan Tierney for our stats and analytics halftime show.
Yes, and always has good things to say, making it interesting for you guys at home.
Indeed.
Defense swarming the ball again, not making it easy for the run game. Bear Creek's going to have to try find something new if they want to get back in this game. Obviously, their rushing yards are not working out for them.
No, I think you asked me earlier, what do they need to get back in this game? I think just throw the ball, get the ball in the air, maybe add some challenge for the Raider defense.
Yes, and they do throw the ball in the air. They're risking another pick six, and the fumbled snap, as he'll just fall on it, making it 4th down and about 7 for the Raiders. It's definitely going to get them very good field possession on this punt.
You know, I've said this before. It's the small things that you have to do correctly, and then that's how you win ball games.
Yep. And 4th and 12 on their own 28. Bear Creek back to punt. With Parker back to receive. The ball will again be muffed and go out of bounds, giving the Raiders another great opportunity to score. 21-0 is your score with 4 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second quarter. And Raiders looking to repeat what they did last time and get another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, really secure our lead for the end of the game after the half.
Yes, and at halftime, I wouldn't be surprised to see some different players coming out for the Raiders as they don't want to risk any injuries.
Indeed, maybe I said this at the Royal Central game where it was a blowout, and maybe it could be an opportunity for some new players or players that don't get as much playing time.
Pass to the right side. There's a wide open receiver, unable to connect. That is Jack Peppercorn. Unable to receive that ball. He is wide open, just a little bit of miscommunication as Jacob Lamb could not throw that ball to him and hit the hands. It'd be 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders. Bear Creek looking to get a stop so they can get back into this game, as they are down by 21. Jacob Lamb back with a snap. Running back to his right side. The snap a little high, and it looks like there's a little bit of movement.
Looks like an encroachment on the Bear Creek team.
Yes, we'll see what it is. And then it's a false start.
Misjudged that one.
Yeah, I'm hoping for encroachment, but just could not get that one. But 2nd and 15, Raiders obviously have a powerhouse offense. Not too worried about that penalty. Pretty confident that they have a pretty good chance of getting back into this game or on this possession. And the snap is coming up with 2 receivers to his right side and 1 to his left. The snap is back. Someone's rushing him. It looks like they're going to run a screen. Someone's there. He's taking it out to the left side. Finds an opening. breaking a tackle, and he's still going as he takes the ball to the Bear Creek 30-yard line.
That looked pretty good.
And that is to Heimlicher, the man himself,
The beast.
the beast. He plays both ways, and again, that great call as they get about 35 yards on that one. 4 minutes.
You know, on the Jake Heimlicher topic, I was looking at his stat sheet earlier today. If you compare him to the national average, it's almost triple or double the amount of sacks or what have you.
Crazy. The pass back and unable to catch that ball. Intended for two to Telly. Just could not find him as he is lined up at tight end. Another person that plays both ways. Great linebacker for the Raiders, and learning a little bit more about the tight end position. The snap back, and Bear Creek able to swarm the ball with a sack as O-line miscommunicated on that one.
3rd and 14 for the Raiders.
As it would be 3rd and 14. But last time it was 3rd and 15 or 2nd and 15, and Raiders were able to capitalize with a screenplay. Let's see what they do on this one. Lamb back in, ready for the snap. Dropping back. Sees someone, throws it to him, and wide open is Jack Peppercorn with the touchdown.
Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. Just shutting Bear Creek out. You can look at their sidelines, distraught.
Yeah, and they didn't even look for Jack Peppercorn. He is
Wide open.
Yeah, this is his first year ever playing football, as he is a rugby player, and he is out there and showing his skills on the field. The senior, Jack Peppercorn, there with the touchdown.
It's going to be a bummer when we lose him.
Yes, it is, as unable to have him for 4 years, only his first year, and he is definitely a star athlete. The kick is up, and it is good, giving the Raiders a 28-0 lead on this one.
Some laughter on the in the broadcasting booth.
Yeah.
That we totally have.
I mean, what do you expect? I was a little bit too excited on that one. As the Raiders coming back out on the kickoff. It's all part of the job, Chalmers. You're going to have those sometimes. All right, here are the Raiders back with the kickoff. The kickoff is up, and it's going to be returnable again for Bear Creek as he takes it, looking for an opening. And he is taken down to the 23.
Slammed into that wall again.
Yes, Raiders swarming that ball as they practice their pursuit. And this wall of a defense is coming back out. First and 10 on the 22 with 2 minutes and 58 seconds left into this quarter. Snap, looking for the left side wide receiver screen, finding an opening, taking it to the left sideline, trying to get it. And there's a tackle made by the Raiders defense.
No, that was a pretty good play. Putting the ball in the air. Hopefully we can see some more of that tonight. But not too much, of course.
Yes. It would be second down and around 2. As Raiders looking to get a stop here so they can get the ball quickly. Ball pitched out to the left side. He finds an opening. He's going on the left side. Can anyone get him? And yes, thankfully the safety is there, but a great run there by Bear Creek as they are marching down the field looking for the first points of the game.
Maybe I spoke too soon about a shutout.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they do score here, as they have, throughout the season, they've had a great offensive team. And they're going to talk this one over as the ball is on the Raiders' 40-yard line. Bear Creek threatening to score. With that, we'll take a quick break as these teams will take a timeout. And we are back as the Raiders looking to get a stop here on 1st down and 10 on their own 40-yard line. Bear Creek again having a great run on that last play as they want to repeat that, finding holes in the Raiders defense. The snap is off, looking to his right. No one's there and he's going to run it, but the defensive line able to see that coming.
That one looked like that hurt, Jaron.
Yes, it did, as he was folded from behind, and they don't want too many of those hits on their quarterback. I mean, obviously
Not
they're
at
not,
all.
Yeah. Looking for the signal. We have Bear Creek 2nd and 10 with 2 minutes and 38 seconds. That long run was by Martinez there, number 20. And doing a great job finding a hole in the Raiders defense.
On a different note, the temperature has suddenly dropped.
Again. And here we are. Martinez again finding room but unable to, as the Raiders saw that one coming. It'd be 3rd down and 10 on their own 40. Raiders doing a good job recovering after that long play.
Indeed.
There's a sideline violation
Getting calls from your
that giving them 5 yards, so it'd be 3rd and 5, if I'm correct. Third down here for Bear Creek. Raiders doing a good job contesting this drive. Snap taken, and a monster hit as the Raiders linebackers. Tuatelli's there, and he is hyped after that tackle as he swarmed the ball. What do you think about that one?
You know, like I said, a wall. The Raider defense, absolute wall. Unbelievable.
Fourth and 5. Bear Creek will have to go for this one. And a minute, 20 seconds till halftime. We have Ryan Tierney with some stats and maybe some other bystanders on their thoughts on this game so far. Here is a timeout called. And Bear Creek struggling so far in this game, unable to find any holes in the defense. They have few blowout plays, but Raiders able to recover.
Yeah, I think it's a smart play by the coaches of Bear Creek to call a timeout, talk things over, take their time, and try and think things over, because this is obviously not working against the Raider defense.
Yep. And Bear Creek talking things over. Defense coming back on. 4 and 5 on their own 35-yard line. 28-0 is the score. Romero back on the snap, looking for someone, running, and again sacked by number 17, Smallwood.
Smallwood is another senior. Will be losing next year. Well,
Yeah.
this year.
And he
but
is
next season.
having a great game so far. See, got that one. And it would be 1st and 10. With a minute left, Raiders hoping to score before half. Here are the Raiders back. Scoring last play with Jack Peppercorn as he is lined up on the left side. Land back with a snap. Dropping, rolling to his right. The throw is caught. And breaking a tackle and able to get the first down there.
What we've seen before this game by the Raider offense, I think with 53 seconds left, they can definitely go for it and try and get that extra touchdown just to shut out Bear Creek.
Yes, and that last reception gave the Raiders a first down, and a long throw caught by number 10, Parker. And he is a little bit shaken up after that play. Able to hop up. Marshall Parker again having a great game. So that is his first reception on this drive. And with that, the Raiders will take a timeout with 40 seconds left into this half. 1st and about 5 to get into the end zone. And with that, we'll take a break here on the Raiders Sports Network.
And we're back.
1st and goal for the Raiders as they try getting an even bigger lead. The snap, looking back, has an open receiver again.
Oh!
He drops that one as everyone for Bear Creek held their breath, but the Raiders started cheering. But unable to hold on to that ball.
That was a bummer, at least for me, yelling into the mic.
Yeah, everyone was like in awe as he couldn't catch that one. Be 2nd and goal on the 5-yard line. Raiders trying to pound this one in. I'm surprised they didn't run the ball as they have a lot of great backs. As they do pitch it out to the outside and a spin move to the end zone, but he fumbles it. He's taking it on the right side. Bear Creek, and he goes out of bounds. Oh, let's see what there is a flag in the end zone. We will see what that is. But he thought that he was in the end zone and did not protect the ball completely. But you always want to finish the play. We'll see what this flag is, as it looks like it is against the Raiders.
it might be beneficial for obviously beneficial for the Bear Creek team, but maybe a huge boost in their confidence, trailing the Raiders at 28-0.
And the referee still has not called what the flag was, but looks like the Bear Creek offense will come back onto the field. Yep, so they will count that as a fumble recovered by Bear Creek with 28 seconds left. And
From my view, it did look like he was in the end zone. I don't know if I agree with that that call. Maybe if we had instant replay technology, we could truly see what happened.
yes, and it's bad for us that we don't have that technology, but refs had to make the best call that they thought. There's 20 seconds left in this half. Going to be hard for Bear Creek to get one on the board. He rolls out to his right side, has an open receiver, trying to break a tackle, and he'll just go out of bounds with 18 seconds left in the half.
Pass complete to Leon. Good for Bear Creek first down.
Bear Creek 1st and 10 on the Regis's 43-yard line. 18 seconds again. I haven't seen their kicker at all this game, so I don't know if he has a leg that he can put a long one up for 3, but
Indeed.
we'll see how it goes. Snap, rolling back, again rolling to his right side. Has a defender, and he is sacked again by Smallwood. He is
Smallwood has really done well this game.
Yes, he has with his second sack. Excuse me. 10 seconds left into this game as Bear Creek will call a timeout.
And the clock will be set back to 15 seconds. 13 seconds.
Yep.
Maybe giving the Bear Creek team some 3 seconds extra to capitalize on this fumble.
(28-0), 13 seconds left in the first half. As Raiders coming out strong, and Bear Creek just cannot find anything to get them into this game. Coming back out to the field. They have 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and 1's in motion. And Bear Creek rolling out, looking to run, has some room, but again, Smallwood with a tackle as he is just destroying this Bear Creek offense.
And they just keep running the ball. I don't know if that's a smart play. Obviously, it's not working out for them. Maybe they should again try and put the ball in the air.
Yes, and I think that our secondary is just having such good coverage that they are unable to get a ball in the air and successfully caught. It would be 3rd and 13 on their own 46-yard line. That would be a 57-yard field goal about. And I wouldn't be surprised if they come out here with a Hail Mary to put one into the end zone.
Indeed, with 5 seconds left on the clock, it would make sense to do such.
And the refs blowing the whistle as they want them to quickly come back out onto the field. 5 seconds left, and most likely the final play of the first half. And here we are as Bear Creek quarterback Romero back. The snap has some time, rolling out to his left side. He's one up into the end zone, and it is picked off by the Raiders, able to return it as he is still going and taken down. And with that, we are going into halftime here. Got a little bit of stats for you by Ryan Tierney, and maybe some bystanders saying some things on their thoughts on the game. We'll take a quick break here. Be back with you in a little bit of time. And here's Ryan Tierney with some thoughts on the game.
How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Chalmers?
I'm doing great. It's a little chilly out, but I think I'll survive.
Yeah, definitely gotten a lot colder as this game has progressed. Bear Creek, they came out strong to start the first quarter. They had a good, solid run. Regis was only able to gain 12 yards on their first possession. However, on Bear Creek's second possession, that pick, there was a pick six by Michael Bennett. He's a senior here at Regis, and that has really turned the tide of the game. Regis has had the momentum ever since that moment. Would you agree, Chalmers?
Yeah, I most definitely. That pick six really amped up the student section and as well as the team on the sideline.
Yeah, it definitely set the stage for some excellent playing by Regis throughout the rest of the second half. Jake Smallwood, he's been a defensive powerhouse this game. He already has 2 sacks, a few tackles as well, and he's just been a rock in this RJ defense tonight. Would you agree?
Yeah, and it's his last year trying to make his mark on the Raiders football team. I think it's important for him to do so, and I think it'd be great if he did so.
Yeah, he definitely is making that mark. Excellent game tonight. Other than that, Regis is doing very well. Now, the Bruins, they have not been able to convert on any of their possessions so far. They've had a few errors. That pick. They've had a few sloppy errors. They had a fumble that, luckily for them, they recovered. But nonetheless, the momentum has not gone their way.
For sure. Right now, we're going to take a quick break.
And then we're going to bring it back
with
the Raider Sports Network for more football action here at Luke Kellogg Stadium. Stay tuned.
All right, we're back. I'm Michael Nugent along with Chalmers Powell. 28-0 at halftime. Chalmers, we saw it first play of the game. First drive, Michael Bennett
with that pick
on a
six.
third down with a pick six. Really brings the momentum for the Raiders after going only brought to the 22-yard line. And then they come right back at the Bear Creek offense with a pick six, Michael Bennett. And then after that, we go to Keon Martinez on the run game. Started off slow, only getting a few yards per each play. For the first six, it was only averaging about 3 or 4, and then finally busted it open. Started putting out some spin moves and able to find that sideline, find the gap. Got back in his game mode. He had a touchdown. It was a 60-plus yardage down the right side of the field, and then Jack Peppercorn with another touchdown.
Great plays. All of these have been great plays.
What have you seen so far for the Raider offense?
I think getting the ball in the air, and then their run game has been great as well as Lamb running the ball a couple times. It's been great.
Yeah, Lamb able to he's been rushed a few times and able to use his feet, which has really been helping him out this year You know,
For
throughout
sure.
every game, he's been able to find that gap, and he's not scared to get hit. We see him run all the way through, usually, sometimes running out of bounds, but usually taking that hit. And then the Bear Creek defense, as they're not doing a horrible job. They've been able to rush Lamb a few times, put him under pressure, but the Raider offense, they're
It's
offensive
definitely hard
line-
to combat.
Yeah, especially with their huge offensive line up front. You know, definitely not letting anyone through. Looks like we're having a Special Olympics mini game too at this halftime, so we'll definitely get to that action in a bit. So that'll be fun to watch. Quick mini game from the Special Olympics, and then we go on to the Bear Creek defense, who we were just talking about.
Yeah.
They're trying to get down to Justin Lamb and try to stop that run game, but, you know, it all comes down to size, and Regis stacks up a lot higher than they do. But I think going into the second half, Regis might bring in some of their second-string guys, and that might give Bear Creek a couple chances, but not many, as we're pretty solid throughout this whole program.
And you know, it's tough to find holes through the O-line on the Regis side, but I think they've done it a couple times, and bringing in some second line players. Maybe that would get some more holes. Hopefully not, but
Wouldn't be surprised if we see at least one score, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown in this second half from Bear Creek.
you know they've gotten close with
Yeah.
that last pick to end the half. It's close, but just not close enough.
Right, and then we're going on to the Bear Creek offense, who has been doing a great job. You know, football-wise, if you look at the stats, you look at it as a great team, but the problem is the 2 interceptions, and then the Raider defense is really just being there on every play, stopping them every time, and they're not getting a chance at all on each play because, you know, Jake Heimlicher rushes the quarterback, and he's always there, tipping the pass, blocking the pass.
Yeah, and Smallwood has been doing a great job tonight as well. And you know, like I said earlier tonight, it's like running into a wall. It's hard to combat.
Along with Ben Hecht, who's leading the 5A football team in tackles this year. And then Jake Heimlicher leading in sacks. So this football team really solid all around offense and defense. And then their special teams, their punt block game has been really strong this year. It looked like we had a tip on one of them,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
nothing big enough. But wouldn't be surprised if we see a full block and maybe even a return for a touchdown going into the second half.
Yeah, you can only expect the best for the Raiders football team, and we're gonna hand it off, I think, to Ryan Tierney.
with Sport Analytics, a new club that was started at the beginning of this year, and they've really been doing a great job, you know, keeping track of every game, and they've been to every game, keeping track, filling in Coach Philman on some of the stats, and really helping out the whole program. Ryan Tierney, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Michael. I'm glad to be here.
This game, tell us what you know so far.
Well, as you said, we've been here at every game, and we've been taking a lot of stats. I've seen some trends in how teams play. Now, interesting thing about the Bruins, they're not really following those trends. The Bruins, as they went through the first half, they had a very low success rate. They had about a 35% success rate in rushing, in gaining more than 5 yards.
And as we were just talking about, Chalmers and I, the Raider defense, you know, stopped by Jake Heimlicher, Ben Hecht. That's why that run offense isn't working for Bear Creek.
Exactly.
Because of that strong defense that the Raiders have.
Yeah, and we've been expecting them to revert back to the passing game, but that has not happened thus far in the game. So we're going to be looking possibly for some changes in the play calling going into the second half to see if they can make something happen. Or else the game's going to continue to go as it is. Very interesting.
You were talking about the play calling, and I think they want to go to the pass game, but right now their quarterback is just not there. As with the 2 interceptions in just the first half, that's not good. 1 return for a touchdown, Michael Bennett. You just can't let that happen. I think that's one of the reasons why they stick with the run game. There's obviously multiple reasons, but I think that's one of the main ones.
Definitely. And they have those errors, but nonetheless, I mean, they need to go where they can convert it. And if they can't convert on the pass game, if they can't convert on the run game, that's
they don't
how
have any game at all.
And that's how we end up with a score like this. So going into the second half, another interesting thing, teams that are down like this, normally they throw in some option plays to try and get things happening. We've only seen 2 options from the Bruins so far, which is pretty unusual considering that they are down like this in the first half.
Yeah, especially we've seen at the end of the season Regis facing some teams that don't really stack up well against them stat-wise, facing Westminster, Legacy, Bear Creek, and Aurora Central these past few weeks, and it's really not. It's giving the Regis momentum going into the playoffs, but I don't think it's really helping them play to their full ability as they can get away with making mistakes. But that won't work going into next week playoffs.
Exactly.
Bear Creek, remember, has to win this game if they want to go into the playoffs next week. So you want to expect a fight that's going to go up. Don't expect them to just back down at this battle.
Yeah, and the coaches are aware of that. Regis has had a pretty easy regular season so far, and they've been playing well. I mean, they've made some mistakes. Hopefully, going through the regular season, we've noticed that they've eliminated a lot of the errors. This game, they've played very clean in terms of errors. They've had a couple of penalties. Hopefully, playing some easy teams might give them a chance to get out those kinks without being penalized too much for it. But as you said, they're going to be playing in a whole different league in a week, so that's going to be interesting to see how they perform.
For sure. And then we move down to the Raider offense. We have about 7 minutes left. So the Raider offense, quickly tell us about what they've been doing good this game.
Well, Raider offense, we've seen this from them pretty much every game, but they've been a very balanced pass and run offense. They've gained quite a bit of yardage from the pass. Their average pass gain is about 11 yards, which is very good. They've had some excellent passes here in the first half, and they've been steady with the run game as well, and being able to mix that up has kept the Bruins defense on their toes.
Definitely keeping them awake out there. That's going to do it for the halftime show. I'm Michael Nugent along with Ryan Tierney. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the third quarter.
Stay tuned.
All right, so we are here with a bystander, Katie Messenger. What do you think? What do you think so far in this Raiders game?
I think the Raiders have done a tremendous job for running game, and they've had a strong offensive line to get them past, and have had strong plays to get them in the end zone, which is the most important part.
As said, very well. Any other thoughts, or is that everything?
That's mostly everything. I think they just need to keep this up in the third and fourth quarter, and if they continue like this, they're going to have a strong season and a strong playoff.
All right, thank you, Katie. I'm glad having you on Clear Sports Network, and we'll bring you guys back in about 3 minutes. Well, with the second half. And with that, we are back as Bear Creek will kick off to the Raiders. I'm alongside Cameron Kreitz for this second half, and 28-0 is your score. If the Raiders get to 40 points, then the clock will continuously run. But until then, we get a look at some different Raiders players as they want to not risk any injury. Bear Creek looking to kick off. Is up and is a squib kick. Tipped and finally received by the Raiders as he will get about 5-yard return and be taken down.
Yes, Jaron, it's going to be interesting to see some of the second-string players for the Raiders. This is going to be important come playoff time if one of the Raiders' star players gets injured. It's going to be important to see these second-string guys in this game.
Yes, and let the Raiders see what their future players have. And we have their offense. It is still Justin Lamb at quarterback, as they want to get a little bit more of a cushion in this game. The snap, looking to his right side. The pass, wide open receiver, making a move, taking it, looking to the outside, still on his feet, and finally taken down at about the 35-yard line. Great play there to start off this second half.
Definitely the way you want to start the second half if you're the Raiders. You want to play conservative because you definitely don't want to give up this lead because anything's possible. But you got to just go out there and be as conservative as they can.
The snap, again throwing over the middle, but no one is there for the reception. Pass intended for Heimlicher, but unable to connect, as it would be second down and 10 on the Raiders' 36-yard line. Running back, move to the left side. Snap, and it's handed off. There's a big opening, and looks like he'll be about 4 yards on that carry. So it'll be third down and about 7 in this half. Raiders doing a good job running some clock down as they want to try getting maintaining their lead in this game.
Pound the rock if you're the Raiders.
Yep, the snap, finding Tuatelli, wide open. He's going. The 20, the 10, the 5. And a touchdown. That is the tight end. Tuatelli with a quick touchdown, giving the Raiders an even bigger lead.
I just said to pound the rock, but I guess that works too. Might as well get another score.
Yes, and 34-0. A quick score in this half. Raiders wanting to get this lead quickly. And see if they can get this extra point. The snap, the kick, and it is good. With that, the Raiders will add another 7 to the board, making the score 35-0. So, Cameron, what do you think about that score as the Raiders hit their tight end there?
You know, it's just another piece to this blowout football game. The Raiders are just trying to establish this lead because they definitely don't want to give it up. And that might be a game sealer right there, even though we still have a lot of game to go. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, and as we saw in the Mullen game, you can never be too confident with this Raiders team. The kickoff is going to be returnable as it stays in bounds. And finally, towards the end, will roll into the end zone. Green Bears, Bear Creek on their own 20-yard line, as they're looking to get their first points on the board. And here we are.
See what this Bear Creek offense can do.
Yep, trips right, handing it off, looking for a hole, but Raiders defensive line not letting anything go through, as they will get the first tackle with a gain of about 3 on the play, bringing it 2nd down and 7. The snap. Handing it off again, finding a little bit of opening. The linebackers there, as they'll get about another 4 yards, making it 3rd down and about 2 to go.
5-yard gain play makes it 3rd and 2 for Bear Creek.
This is a big 3rd down for Bear Creek. They need to stay in this game.
Yes, you said that right. They want to have any chance of winning this game, they're going to have to put some points on the board quickly, as they're on their own 28-yard line, looking to get to the 30. The snap, quick, handing it off, and see where the referee will mark this ball.
That's close. It's going to be close.
It will be close, and I would not be surprised to see them go for it if it is 4th down. And refs do call it 4th down, about 4th down and 1. And Bears Creek's going to have to go for this one. Do you think this is a risky move, or do you think they have to do this one, Cameron?
Oh, they got to do this. They can't give the ball back to Regis' offense. They've scored 35 points already. They're just on fire tonight. You got to go for it here and take the risk.
Yes, you do. And here we are, as I wouldn't be surprised to see a QB sneak. Trying to draw him off sides. Finally gets it. The sneak. And the ref looks like they'll call him short. Still waiting for the call. And yes, the Raiders get the stop. Unable to convert on that play. It would be great field possession for the Raiders, and would not be surprised if we see another score for the Raiders.
Great run defense by the Raiders tonight. They're strong. The strength of your defense begins with how you stop the run, and the Raiders have been excellent with that tonight.
Indeed, they have. It is Lamb still at quarterback, having 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. As the one on the far left, Jack Peppercorn, has scored tonight. The handoff. Making some move, breaks his ankles, gets a block, puts on the brakes, and finally gets taken down just past the 1st down on the Raiders' own 19-yard line.
What a run by Martinez. That was crazy.
Yes, that was a great run as he made some players miss and put some skates on the field.
Carry is good for 12 yards and a Raider 1st down. 1st and 10, Regis Jesuit from the Bear Creek 17.
17-yard line for the Raiders, 1st and 10, with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left. Lamb back to snap. Looking to his right side. Doesn't have anyone open. Trying to get away from a sack, and it looks like he'll just be able to gain about a yard as his effort saves a sack. Great coverage there by Bear Creek as they seem to find some way to stop this Raiders' great receiving class. looking for the call. A little bit of confusion, but they're setting up. Trips right. Dropping back, rolling to his right is Lamb. Trying to find a receiver. Doesn't have anyone, and he'll just keep it himself again. As they're running some time off of this clock. Third and 4 for the Raiders. On their 11-yard line. As looking to put some more points on the board. The snap, fake handoff, play action. Has someone try and get him. Still on his feet. A great block. And he's going to take this one and get the first down. Great effort by the senior Lamb as he will get about 7 yards and be 1st and 4 to the goal line.
Nice run by Jake Lamb, keeping this drive alive. My bad, Jared. Justin Lamb.
It's all right. And
my apologies there, but man, he's been awesome tonight.
yes, he has.
Man running. He's getting out of trouble. This Bear Creek D-line's actually doing a pretty good job of getting to him, but he's getting out of trouble and running for some good yards.
Here's the snap. The handoff. Looking for a hole. He finds one. And looking for the call, and will be a touchdown as the Raiders will just pound this one through the middle. That is Martinez again. Great game he is having. He did have that one drop pass, but definitely made up for it on that play. And with that, I think Raiders with a 41-point lead. That would be in mercy rule rules, so the clock will continue to run unless Bear Creek is able to put some points on the board. The snap, the kick, and it is good. Great job there. And a little bit of talking at the end as some flags will be thrown out. Raiders just walking back to the bench. Bear Creek getting a little bit disappointed as this game is slowly getting away from them.
You know both teams' coaches are going to be disappointed about that play. We'll see who it's on right here.
Yes, you really want to have good sportsmanship.
The extra point is good. After the play was over, a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 72 on Bear Creek. A 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So it was a personal foul on Bear Creek. And with that, the Raiders will have a little bit shorter kickoff as it'll be taking it on about their own 50-yard line.
Yeah, that's a disappointing play by Bear Creek. I bet they're not going to be happy about that. No matter how bad you're losing or winning out here, you want to try to have the best sportsmanship that you can.
Yes, and obviously it might be their last game for them, and a little bit of emotion is coming out onto the field.
Definitely be a disappointing game for Bear Creek tonight. They were 5-4 on the season, trying to stay above 500. So going into next week at 5-5, that's not what they wanted, but definitely they're still a very good team. It's a good, solid record.
Yes, they did have a good season this year as they improved a lot, as they will be taking it to the right side and running it out of bounds around their own 35-yard line. Good return there as the short kickoff was able to be returned. And let's see how this Raiders defense is doing as they have come up with 2 turnovers so far this game. And Bear Creek just struggling on getting their offense going. And again, there's another personal foul, as they're definitely showing a little bit of emotion in this game. You do not want to have that happen.
Yeah, another personal foul call on Bear Creek. Getting frustrated out here, you can definitely tell.
Here's Bear Creek lining up, calling a man in motion. They'll hand off to the left side and able to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Again.
Got another flag in here.
Might be of a little bit of celebration there by the Raiders as they got that tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
If I'm correct, I think he threw that flag before the celebration. Maybe it was grabbing the face mask on the tackle. I'm really not sure. We'll see what they say.
Sorry, we are having some technical difficulties with the camera as it has a mind of its own. And you called that right. It is a face mask penalty. Good eyes there. And it will be a repeat of the first down.
Yeah, I guess that's a good call. You could kind of see the running back's head turn on that tackle like Heimlicher was grabbing his face mask. Good call by the officials. Definitely not intentional, though.
Be 1st and 8. The handoff, trying to make a player miss, and he's chased from behind. Great effort there by the Raiders as they are able to get another tackle just at the line of scrimmage. And if we just want to congratulate the Performing Arts as they just completed their first performance of Fiddlers on the Roof. As a flag will come out before the snap. Looks like a little bit of false start. They're going to call an encroachment as the ball will be moved closer to that first down. 2nd and about 3.
Fiddler on the Roof cast coming out here back to support the football team. They just got done with their first showing tonight. Going to celebrate with a little bit of football. Nothing better than that.
Yep. So they put a lot of effort into that performance and heard that it turned out great. As a handoff is taken to the right side, finds a hole, and again, able to be tackled around the first down marker. See if they'll give it to him. It'd be 1st and 10. They did give him the first down on that one. And I don't know if you hear that in the background, but this cast is very ecstatic about their completion. Bear Creek rolls to the left side, finds an open man, and an open field tackled. Great job finding that one as he gets wrapped up and pushed back behind the line of scrimmage.
We hit the end of this 3rd quarter. Got to point out that was a great open field tackle, but the pass rush was what made it happen. Caused Bear Creek's quarterback to roll out of the pocket and make a throw he didn't want to make. So great job by the pass rush yet again.
Yes, and they're going to take a timeout as they're going to try talking this one over. As it feels like this temperature dropped a little bit more. I wonder if that's going to have any effect on this Raiders defense.
Certainly isn't warm out here tonight. We're all hunkering down over here in the broadcasting side of the field. I can't imagine what the players are going through out there. It's definitely not the ideal football weather.
It is not. And with the 4th quarter about ready to start, it'll be 2nd and 10 on Bear Creek's own 28-yard line. 42-0 is your score if you're just turning in. Raiders doing a great job so far of finding the pass game to be successful.
The pass game for the Raiders tonight has opened up their run game too, so both things are going great. You know, hope you can continue it because it's been that pass game that's opened up their run game as well.
Yes, it has. But all around, coaches should be happy about this performance so far, as we might be seeing some other players get into the game, like I said, as they don't want to risk any injuries for this playoff. It's a snap taken to the right side, looking for a hole, and again, the Raiders just doing a great job swarming the ball, having great pursuit in this game. That was Martinez for the Bear Creek with the carry. Gain of about 3.
3-yard gain in the play. Bear Creek
It would be 3rd down and 7 to go.
and 7 from their own 31.
They do still have some of their key players in, as Smallwood is there and Heimlicher. See how this Raider team does on this 3rd down. Big play for the Bears. So they're rolling out, finding an opening, reaching for the 1st down, and we will see if he will get that.
That was the first real open field run we've seen tonight from Bear Creek. Really nice run by Bear Creek there. Hopefully for them that will be a sign of things to come.
Hopefully. Again, Raiders are 4th currently in state. So, they had a few tough teams on the schedule, but their only loss coming to Mullen, as it was a heartbreaking one. It came in the last second. The ball pitched to the right side, finding an opening, and pushed out of bounds. And a little bit of late flag. You see what happened there, Cameron?
Yeah, 2 flags came out on the field. I think there was some pushing and shoving over by the Raiders sideline. I'm not really sure what the call is, but we will see. But definitely going to be a personal foul, it looks like. Definitely not a good sign.
Yes, and we do not want that for the Raiders, as it might make some coaches angry. Especially don't want that before the playoffs. Get a bad name on themselves.
Unnecessary roughness, number 15 on the defense. Unnecessary roughness, number 62 on the offense.
So the call was called on both teams for unnecessary roughness, and those 2 calls will offset. It'll be 2nd and 10, on their own 39-yard line with 9 minutes and 20 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Bear Creek struggling a little bit, but their O-line's looking pretty good tonight. So they've only allowed 2 sacks on this powerful defensive line. Again, another hole opened by the D-line, getting Bear Creek close to the 1st down, and they will give it to them, as it will be 1st and 10 on the 47-yard line.
Another nice run by Bear Creek. They're definitely getting their running game going in the second half.
I don't know about you, Cameron, but it's very cold. I'm starting to lose feeling in my hands.
I am too, man. I am too. It's definitely pretty chilly up here.
The wide receiver screen, nicely read by the Raiders, as they will get no gain on that play. Again, the clock will be continuing to run since the Raiders are up by 40 or more points, as there's about 8 minutes left into this game. Making some substitutions. The Raiders putting in different look. Trips right. Play action and a little bit of movement before. See what the flag is. And they will call it again. Encroachment by the Raiders. That is the 2nd time this series that they have called that. Do you think it's just them getting a little fatigue, or what do you think, Cameron?
I can't really tell from up here. It might be the snap count by Bear Creek's quarterback. His snap count must be getting the Raiders' D line to jump. Or it's just the Raiders are getting giddy. They know this game's almost over. So they must be wanting to make a big play to put a cap on this game.
Raiders defensive line swarms them for another sack.
There's that big play right there I just talked about.
Yep, and that would be 3rd down and long for the Bear Creek.
6-yard loss in the play. Makes it 3rd and 13. Ball at
3rd and 13
Bear Creek 49.
on the Bear Creek 49. Let's see if they can capitalize on this play. They really need this one here if they want to have any chance of putting some points on the board, as they are struggling so far. Handoff, and they're just going to run this one into the middle of the field. Bear Creek definitely needs to go for this one. Try putting some points on the board to make this loss less heartbreaking.
Ball at the Regis Jesuit 45.
4th and 7.
Definitely an interesting play call there by Bear Creek. I know there's only 6 minutes left of this game, but you want to at least try to be a little aggressive here. So running it on 3rd and long, we'll see what they do on 4th, but definitely a questionable call for sure.
Yes. We'll see the snap. He drops back. Breaking a tackle, finding an open receiver. He has some room to work with, and a giant hit from behind by the Raiders.
Nice play by Bear Creek, but that's an example of a legal good hit by the Raiders defense. Really nice play.
Yes, and showing some speed and athleticism as he runs from behind and is able to get that tackle. 5 minutes left as the clock is running down. Don't know if we're going to see any of the offense in this game. So sub comes in for Bear Creek. Coaches doing a little bit better job of play calling as they get another 1st down. The snap. Handoff. And wrapped up by the Raiders D. Great job there. Not letting him break that tackle. And loss of about 5 on that play, bringing it 2nd down and 15 on their own 30-yard line.
4-yard loss in the play. 2nd and 14 for Bear Creek.
Crazy how good this run defense has been tonight on a really good running back in Martinez for Bear Creek. So you definitely got to be impressed with what this run defense is doing, especially as we get into playoff season.
Yes. Another great play by the Raiders defensive line as little gain on that one. Alrighty. Got 3rd and 14 again. With 3 minutes and 20 seconds as the clock is running down. Long series here as Bear Creek has almost had it this whole quarter.
Another 3rd and long for Bear Creek. They converted on the last one. They'll see what they do here.
Dropping back, looking for anyone. Finds a hole. And somehow to get his feet in as Bear Creek's quarterback is tackled.
That's a great play by Jake Heimlicher, getting pressure on Bear Creek's quarterback, and he was double teamed by Bear Creek's O-line, and he still got really nice pressure and almost made a sack. That's really impressive by Heimlicher.
It is impressive, showing some athleticism. And with that, it'll be 4th down and about 7 to go. This clock is still ticking away. Slowly leaning towards the Raiders' lead and win. Pass, dropping back, looking to the right side. He steps up into the pocket, finds the receiver open, and that will be a first down. Raiders having a little bit of difficulty as they're trying to complete the shutout, but Bear Creek's knocking out the door. They do not want that to happen. 2 minutes left into this game, as will be 1st and 10 on their 12-yard line. Looking back, he drops, looking to his left side. He rolls to his left, pump fake, and he's going to run this one and get about 5 yards on that carry.
Heimlicher again with the pressure on that play. Man, is he having a game tonight.
Yes, and it only takes one player as Bear Creek's quarterback trying to do everything by himself. Romero having a great game, but the 2 interceptions does not bringing his stats down a little bit as he drops back, pump fake again, and completes a pass that is on about the 1 yard line. That'll be 1st and goal with a yard to go. Raiders again trying to stop the clock a little bit, but only timeouts can stop it as mercy rule is happening. 40 seconds left until the Raiders win. Bear Creek trying to get some sort of points on the board. The snap given.
Got it.
And they finally are able to get a touchdown with 20 seconds left in this game. And what do you think about this Bear Creek team as their season is coming to an end?
You know, it's definitely been a good year for them. They've exceeded a lot of expectations. Not a lot of people thought they would be as good as they have been. So to end this year 5-5, I think that's very impressive by Bear Creek. They definitely got a bright future. They got some young guys on their team that they can be excited about. Oh.
And here we have a fake and unable to convert on that 2-point conversion, and with that will be the end of the game as the Raiders win 42-6 against Bear Creek.
Very impressive win by the Raiders tonight. Going into playoff season, beating a pretty good team in Bear Creek. This is a huge win for the Raiders. Definitely a confidence booster going into the playoffs.
Yes, it is. And we're going to have a little bit of post-game show with Chalmers Powell and Ryan Tierney. I am Jaron Johnson alongside Cameron Kreitz, and that is the end of the broadcast for us, and we'll be handing it over.
Thank you very much, Jaron. Well, that was quite the game that we had on our hands. A little one-sided, but nonetheless entertaining. What do you think of the game, Chalmers?
You know, it was a massacre. Besides that last or that last touchdown, it was truly a massacre. And then the defense did a great job. The offense did a great job. Overall, great job by the Regis District Raiders.
Definitely, one-sided game. Statistically, the Raiders were ahead in every positive category, which is very good for them. Pass efficiency, completions, yardage, everything. Bear Creek, they were just, after that initial somewhat good run in the first quarter, they were never able to get anything to go until it was far too late.
Indeed, it is. It was the Raider defense is just too strong, too good for the Bear Creek team.
Definitely. Hopefully, that skill that the Regis defense has will be able to translate as we now enter the postseason with the Raiders going in to the playoffs with a 9-1 record. That's pretty dang good.
Indeed, it's been a great season for us and great year for all of our seniors. It's a good send off to them. We wish them all the best in college.
Yeah, and it's not over yet for the Raiders. Hopefully they can continue this nice streak going into the playoffs, continue playing good football, and be able to hopefully make something happen in the postseason. I'm excited.
indeed. It's the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator have been doing a great job so far, or obviously so far, and keep it up,
Yeah.
coaches.
That's it. That'll be it for us tonight. We thank you all for tuning in. Chalmers, anything else you want to say?
No, I don't think so. It's cold, very cold. But I'm Chalmers Powell with Raider Sport Network. Stay classy, RJ.
And I'm Ryan Tierney with the Raider Sports Network. Stay woke.